Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And for those who are watching us from a different time zone, good morning. At least I think that's true for the person I'm interviewing today. And good evening for others in a different time zone. And for those who are new in this platform or seeing me in here, my name is Marilyn. I'm the founder and CEO of Customized Training Solutions Private Limited or CTS, and we are passionate about helping leaders and organizations who are continuous learners and action takers to transform and thrive in all aspects by co creating, contextualizing, and customizing programs with our world class resources. So, we have served over 3,000 leaders from over 30 countries in different industries, including Petronas, Sony Mobile, ProLife UK, Ayala Group, Tencent, Jollibee Foods Corporation, Legato Healthcare, and Shell, to name a few. And the reason why we are organizing several interventions like summits, webinars, trainings, coaching, masterminds, and this interview is because we would like to help leaders like you who would like to know how to stay relevant and adapt to the next normal, those who find it stressful to lead and ensure performance of a hybrid team, and those who are afraid that they can't keep their team or their business. So, to be able to stay relevant and continue to lead effectively in any situation, we are inviting thought and business leaders from around the globe to help us answer or address all those. And today, it's my great pleasure to introduce our leader. Muhammad Ali Malik is a young transformational leader, coach, and mentor with an ability to transform and turn around business situation. What makes him feel relevant? It was defining transform and turn sorry, it was defining experience when in his mid education period he was a big failure, but his first transformational journey started within when he turned around himself in academic grounds and proved himself with big success for being third in all the campuses of Pakistan and received two bronze medals in MBA program from one of the top universities. Wow. And this has led him to his current journey working in one of the top FMCG company, a thought leader whose mission is to be a distinguished voice to create a high performance culture and to create leaders around him. And other than that, he is a public speaker, creates inspirational and motivation among the students at different universities through his learning experiences and transformational journey. His love is to create guidance for students of underprivileged areas to come up and contribute to the community. So without so much further ado, I'd like to invite Ali. Hi, Ali.
Hello, Madeline. Thank you very much for inviting me and having me. And I'm really honored to be there. Before this, I was just learning and listening your interviews, and they were very inspirational. So I'm happy to be here as a guest speaker. So thank you very much. I hope it is going to be a very wonderful session.
Yes, for sure it will be. And I just want to share with our audience watching us now that um, how I actually get to meet you, or the reason why I invited you here. Right, we've been connected, I guess, for years. On LinkedIn, and like recently we had a conversation on Zoom about what you do, and really connecting and finding out more about each other and what we do, and we both got inspired in sharing our experiences in leadership. And that's the reason why I said, like, I like more, I should not be the only person who would learn from you on this conversation. We should invite or include other people to listen, be motivated, inspired through the journey that you've gone through, especially in the space of leadership. So Thank you so much,
Thank you.
first of all, for taking time to have this interview with us, and it's also an invitation for our audience to join us today. This is not just about Ali and I having this conversation, but feel free to join us, ask your questions, include your takeaways as well, and we will do our best to accommodate as much as those. So, to start with, please share with us your leadership experiences. And if you have like favorite influencers or leadership styles that you'd like to share, please do so.
Okay, well, thank you, Marilyn.
Mhm,
First of all, we are actually a byproduct of all the experiences that we face in our life,
mhm,
all the learnings that we take, all the people we met. And similarly, if I will say from start, my first influencers were my parents. So
mhm,
I learned a lot from them, and I would like to share that my father was a trainer,
mhm,
and he has a very little time, but out of that time he used to create some social activities. He used to create some medical camps where the people can come and for their checkups, and he used to have some eye camps, and also a lot of social work that he used to do. Even once I remember we have had floods in our areas where I belongs to, and he put all the things that we have had in our house to the
mhm,
communities, to the people, and the mantra of him was to help people to create an impact.
mhm,
Try to do whatever you can, not in terms of money, but whatever you can. If with your word, if you can create some motivation, that you should do it. If you can do something for someone, then don't hesitate it, just do it. It is actually the life. So he
mhm,
was my first mentor, he was my first influencer. So then comes towards the teacher, then comes towards the academic side, and there I was again lucky enough to have a lot of wonderful teachers. I know some of them, for example, Mr. Tayyib Anwar Ahmed, who is a PhD in marketing and economics. So he was also a wonderful leader. Also, I would like to name Dr. Mushtaq, who was also a wonderful teacher. So he also tried to create some strong values in it, and it's the values that drive the people. And then
mhm,
comes towards the corporate side. When you entered in the corporate world, you met with a lot of people, and I still do remember the name of one. His name was also Muhammad,
mhm,
Muhammad bin Shabazz. And I was surprised at how he cares and how he inspires. I don't know, I was ready to do everything for him. And he was a very thorough gentleman. He was a wonderful man. He was, as a human, he was a wonderful man. He was a great coach, and I feel a lot of care. So he created a lot of impact in my personality building. So I always take him as my mentor, as my leader,
mhm,
because whatever he created, that was the culture that I feel, and I aspired that if I could be like him. So it was
mhm,
just not me, but each and every member of his team.
mhm,
They feel so secure, they feel so proud, they feel so honored to be part of his team. So he was a wonderful inspiration. Other than that, we learn a lot through different knowledge galleries, through books, through some spiritual journeys, because they also increase your faith, and you learn a lot and then become a product like this. So I'm happy and I'm very thankful that I have had a lot of mentors and a lot of wonderful people that were surrounded around me, and make me what I am today.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, your influencers, and what I got from you. If I were to summarize it, which, I've shared in the earlier summary, but what I really got from here is, again, I really like what you've said, that we are actually a byproduct of the experiences that we had, whether be it with our parents as our role model, the people that we work with, the people that we meet, and again, what's important is what lessons are we getting out of this meetup, or of this experience we have with, these people around us, right? You've mentioned around the influence that you got from your dad, where his mantra is creating impact, as well as um, you've also mentioned, and I'd like to highlight this, that it's the values that drives the people. I mean, that's how you actually influence people, right? When they see how you work, and the values that you exude from working with them, right? And before I ask the next question, I just wanted to acknowledge our live audience. Hi, Prakash. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Ali, he said. So thank you
Well,
for joining us live. And we also have Salim, highly appreciated, and big salute to Mr. Muhammad Ali. Thank you for joining us. And do continue to join us live, and share your insights as well throughout this session. So, um, having said what you have shared with us, what is leadership for you then?
okay. Well, this is a topic that a lot of people touch upon it, but it is really hard to describe what is leadership. I
Mm-hmm.
feel more like parenting. Leadership is just like parents. You are, you know something, and your children know nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
know where should I take them to,
Mm-hmm.
because with a positive intent. And I think leadership is providing environment. Leadership is creating culture. Leadership is creating a culture of mutual trust and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership is not that you pool all the power in your hands, but leadership is that you have the power to
Mm-hmm.
delegate the power to make your team empowered. Leadership is basically something which is more related to giving, not getting. Whatever you have, you need to give. You need to give something to the people so that he could be able to create some impact. If
Mm-hmm.
you have power, then you can empower. If you have the knowledge, then you can share that knowledge. If you have the ability, then you must be able to create that ability in the team. So I think leadership is a responsibility. Leadership is something which is not easy. It is something that uh, that is tough to handle. People are there. People are there. They are looking at you in every situation, whether the situation is supporting, whether the situation is not supporting. They have a keen eye on you, that what is your direction, how much clear you are in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I think leadership is a big responsibility, and you create an environment of trust and respect.
Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. Like I really love the definition that you gave us. And I'm summarizing it here, that leadership is more like parenting, right? And when
Yeah.
you say that, it's really so much more about providing tools, like what you've said, nurturing others or the people around you, right? Because and my favorite is the word empowerment, because it's not easy to be a leader when your team is not empowered, right? How can you designate, how can you share the responsibilities if it's only you who will, like, have to do everything? How can you be a leader having said that as well, right? And I always believe that leadership is not only just influence, but actually leveraging on uh the team's strengths, right? So thank you for for sharing that definition for us. And in my introduction, I also made mention about the next normal. I mean, obviously we've gone through like 2.5 years of pandemic, and we're still like, we couldn't really say that the pandemic is already gone, right? And obviously it also has like several effects around it, like we have, of course, inflation, we have economic difficulties, and even like some geopolitical and other unnecessary things that are happening in the world. So um for me, I would actually call it next normal, right? But of course not everyone would call it normal, next normal, or if there's even such thing. So I'm curious to know, how would you define or describe the next normal?
Look, I would say something here that the world will keep on changing. Change is a constant theory, and what where we are standing today is the normal for the past, and the coming unsought future is also a normal for us.
Mhm,
So the challenges that are coming in our way, they will keep on coming.
mhm,
This was one type of pandemic. uh, God forbid, tomorrow could be another type of pandemic, and the
mhm.
challenges will remain coming in and in.
Exactly.
The thing that matters the most is your belief that you will tackle those challenges. You are you creating a strong faith? Are
Mhm,
you creating a strong belief? Are you working on the principles? Are you nurturing the strengths that you will be needed to cope with those challenges?
mhm,
Are we improving your team and yourself, or the people who are going to face those challenges? So
mhm,
if they are capable enough and you are creating some capability to lead those challenges, the situation will remain always unsought. It will not be a fixed situation that this will be the situation that is going to come. The situation is always unsought. So you need to create the strength for the future. Whatever the situation will be, whatever the circumstances will be, whatever it will be, you will be able to face them. And it is the matter of strong faith. It's the matter of strong capabilities that you create in your team and yourself, so that you could be able to manage. And the other thing that I will also correlate with is your mindset with positivity. If you will
true,
if you will see with positive thoughts, you will have strong ideas to come out of it. If I talk,
true.
see, I will quote the examples that this is the new normal, that you are sitting in Singapore and I'm sitting in Pakistan, we are having a conversation. This
Exactly.
is the normal of this positive platforms that came in this pandemic. So the coming tomorrow will be better than today if we think that way. If we thought that in a positive manner, then we will be having more and more tools to capture those challenges. So I see it more positive. I see it wonderful that the future is more brighter than the past.
I really love how you actually put that together, Ali. And again, like it's interesting, like how people are already like aware that the only constant it change is change,
Yeah.
right? And yet, like, here we are talking about like the difficulty, the resistance always on change. And again, like what I'm getting from your message is not only being able to be adaptable and embracing those changes because we know it's coming, right? And being able to be prepared for it. That I really, I really like that part. And most importantly, having that positive mindset, because in every changes, challenges that we face, there's always like an opportunity, and it's always our mindset that will help us go through those challenges that we face, as you mentioned, right? Being positive about it, having that mindset like, oh, okay, there's there's this difficulty, and oh, there will be answers to this, and things will be better in the future because of this difficulty. I really love that. And in fact, today until Sunday, actually, I'll be attending a training program called 100x DNA. I just excused myself for this interview, but it's all about actually really around mindset and NLP, and how you can strengthen that in order to lead more people, in order to like create the dreams come true for you, and also in order for you to create more impact and help in making this world a better place to live in, right? And before I go to my next question, I just want to say hi to Hassan. Very well said, sir. It is about giving power to empower. Yes, I love it also, right? You see, same. We got the same highlight from what you said. Zishan, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names uh, in not in the right way, but I hope I do. Zishan, Bati, nice Ali. Yes. And then we have here CW Tang. Our struggles give us our strengths of the future. True, right?
Perfect.
Same takeaway from with CW. Kamran says hello, and I am Kamran Ali from Pakistan as well. Wow, thank you for supporting Ali, who's also from Pakistan. Thank you for joining us live today. So, that I mean, we've talked about like all these challenges that we face or was brought about the changes, but again also the opportunities. But I mean, I know that you're also working as a corporate leader today, and so what can you say would be from your experience, what would be the top three problems most leaders do face with or
Okay.
without the pandemic?
Okay. The challenges that you face, the topmost challenge with leadership is that you are dealing not with machines, you are dealing with people. So
Mm-hmm.
you must know very strongly about people. People have emotions, people have families, people are living beings, people have some mood swings. Sometimes they are in a good shape, and sometimes they are not in a good shape. You
Mm-hmm.
must, the challenge is that I generally feel that people don't go in their shoes to see what are the challenges they're facing personally in their personal grounds, what are the issues that they are facing. So
Mm-hmm.
I generally see this the most. Secondly, the part that I feel sometimes is not communicating properly, because through communication you create expectations, and what you are communicating is that other person is perceiving the same, or maybe the communication that you are giving is creating some different angle, so communication sometimes also lack. And the third thing that I generally feel is uh, unable to create a trustworthy environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are not able to create a trust,
Mm-hmm.
then your team will not own your words, they will not own you. And for
Mm-hmm.
trust, what I see three variables which are generally used to create trust. First of all is the competency. If you are competent enough, that the other person is ready to trust you, that he will take you to the right place, that we all are going together.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part is the transparency. If you are not transparent, you cannot hide anything from your team. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be very clear and very transparent. And the third one is your personal ethical values and character. How are you? Who are you? What defines you? If you have strong values, then it is very easy for your team to trust. So these are three main areas that I feel which are generally facing some challenges in the current leadership roles.
Yes, I totally agree with you on this, and it's really spot on. These three are always like what comes out when I ask for like what's the usual problem or challenges that leaders do face, right? So again, that's dealing with people, and because we have to understand again, like what you've said, you're dealing with someone who has a family, who has an emotion,
Yeah.
who is human, right? And sometimes we tend to forget that we always like in a talk that I gave recently, I said like you don't define people by their job title, right? And you don't expect them to leave their heart at home before they go to work, because you're working with humans, right? And again,
Yeah.
like time and time again, communication has always come out, because this is one of the most challenging for all of us, because of the, again, you've mentioned this in the earlier answer that you had, that people are different, we have different perspective, we have biases, you know you're dealing with different people, and so you have to also adapt on how you lead, what's your style, right? In dealing with these people or communicating with these people, and the key is really to have a feedback, or to communicate, because it's so difficult to resolve anything without communication, right? Like
I
you
would
just.
like to add one more thing in this conversation, that
Mhm.
I feel leadership is an emotional connect between two persons. If there
Yes,
is
exactly.
no emotional connection, then it is not leadership. There
True.
should always be an emotional connection between the leader and the team. And this is, by the way, a very deep thought. If
Mm-hmm.
if you have emotional connection, you are not afraid of your leader. There is
True.
no communication gap. You are
Exactly.
always there whenever you are in the need of help, and without saying anything from your mouth, through your words, your leader knows that you are facing some challenges, because you have a relationship, you have a very strong bond. And then there is, as it is an emotional connection, then you
True.
are working far beyond your expectations. You work hard and hard for the respect of that goal that you both are carrying together.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
so it is something.
And again, that brings back like the third thing that you've mentioned around building trust, right? In order for you to build that trust, you have to create that psychological safety within the organization, right? In
Yeah,
order for them to speak up, to share their feedback, to ask their questions, to give their ideas. And that, I mean, requires again, because this is I would say these are all tied in together, right? It has to be integrated. Communications, dealing with people, building trust, it's all interrelated or interconnected with each other, right?
perfectly, perfectly.
So yeah, I mean, but of course we will not leave them with all these problems without helping them on how to address that. So my next question then is like what are the important leadership capabilities or skills that you must have in the next normal in order to continue to lead more effectively. But before that, I'd like to acknowledge um, this comment from Tyser, great leader. Yes, correct. That's part of being a great leader, right? Having to like address all those challenges that you just raised, and most importantly, what skills do they need to have? What capabilities do they need to like exude in order for them to be like what you've said earlier, impactful or nurturing to their team, right?
Okay, the role of leader is more of creation of culture.
Mm-hmm.
He creates an environment, and the principles will remain same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a very big fan of the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and the three habits that are for team management. Like, you need to create win-win situation, and you need to create synergies, and seek first to understand and then to understood. These are three major areas. But as you need to create a culture, and culture does not comes with just words. It is
True.
not words. It is the behaviors that creates culture. Whatever you are saying, are you doing the same?
True.
Is there any gap between your words and your actions? If there is no gap, then it is quite easy for your team to trust. Similarly, how you deal with the people, and uncertainty all around, and people are unclear about the future, then you must be very clear for your future and for their future as well. And also, I feel there should have been a strong belief system. If you
Mhm.
have strong faith in yourself and you are able to create that self confidence in your people, then that is very important for your team to trust you. Also, you must be empathetic, and strong listening skills, with a lot of tolerance. Generally, I see, due to shortage of time, and due to very fast pace, you don't have tolerance to listen to the people. Maybe there is someone who is pitching an idea that you see it's not a good idea, but there is something between the lines. Maybe he is not able to clearly communicate to you what he wanted to say, and you have a solution for the problem in it. So these are the areas that I feel are the strength for the current time and for the next normal.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, like, building of culture is about, like what you said, walking the talk, right? It's
So,
really about taking action and really, like, having all those visions, missions, um, and and uh, and all those values that you'd like to see um, in your organization as a reality. You have these core values, but how are you actually, like, showing it up? I mean, how do you show up when you actually within the organization already, right? And you've mentioned around the belief and confidence, because of course that makes it easier for your team or your people to look up to you and to to have that influence as a leader, right? When you have that confidence in you or belief for in the first place on, like, oh, this is the culture and this is the vision, mission, and values that we have to have in this organization, right? And how do you actually, like, show that in the organization with confidence so that people will also, like, follow you, right? And most importantly, again, we're back to communications, and listening is one of them that most leaders do struggle. And it's interesting because recently I've learned, also in a program that I'm producing, where, like, there's actually, like, because you've mentioned, it's interesting that you've mentioned, like, you listen very well. It's not just about the words that has been spoken, right? It's always like listening in such a way that you get to have, because there's three layers to it, right? What you hear, the facts that you hear, but also the emotions that you hear out of this conversation, like how passionate the person is when she talks or shares all these, and even the values of the person, right, who's sharing the message to others. And that's very interesting because there's so much way for us to listen if we just listen.
yeah.
Right? So thank you for summarizing that for us. I really love that. And again, like, these are very important skills and capabilities that leaders must have, right? And before I proceed to the next question, I just I get this request for some visuals, so I'm just sharing this with our audience. This is the four pillars of future ready teams. Since you've already made mention of your take around leadership, and like the important skills, so I'm sure this will not affect whatever I share with you. But we've been talking about the next normal, which is again the future that we are yet to embark on, right? So, and I believe this is actually an excerpt of the brochure that I have created around leadership and organizational development. And I believe these are the most important things, which you've also mentioned in our conversation around empowerment, empowered leaders, organizational alignment, in order for you to create again that alignment between people and the values, the culture of the organization. And of course that will require adaptability and agility, depending on how, we all evolve, how the VUCA world are bringing us as well, and how we are preparing to that. And of course, we've always, like, straightforward know that organizations, one of the goals is really driving outcomes, profitability, productivity, and performance within the team. So it's, all of these has to be in alignment in order for us to be future ready, right? So um and so my question now is, what do you believe is the role of learning? I mean, we've been talking about leadership a lot, and some of the skills, but what's the role of leadership in order for us to learn and transform, in order for us to thrive in this next normal? And I guess that's an invitation for you to summarize like whatever we have been, discussing here.
Actually, the thing starts again from the same sentence that the change is the constant thing, and uh, and learning is the only thing that help you to adopt the change, to go with the pace, to go with the transformation that is coming in. It is not now. If I talk about the person who is educated in today's world, then he is the one who can unlearn his past experiences, and it is very difficult for him to transform himself.
Mhm.
uh, those were the practices that he used to be successful in the past, but now the reality is changed, so he will have to accept that those technologies were obsolete. You
Yes.
see each and every part of the technology around you, and you see each and every aspect of the world. Everything is changing continuously, and you need to change along with it. And knowledge is actually the power that help you to be an open mind, that
Mhm.
help you to transform, that help you to have strong insights of the situation. It also helps you to create trend where the world is going, where I need to go. But and if the leader is not knowledgeable, he is not transformational, he is not a change leader, he is not adaptive, he is not flexible, he is not moving in the right direction, then he will not be a success anymore. So if I conclude that, then the conclusion is always a learning mindset. A person with the knowledge, through knowledge you can win the hearts, through knowledge you can lead. It The time is gone that when there were fights of tools, when there was fights with the guns. Now it is a fight with the knowledge, it is the fight with economy. As the competitiveness is coming in, economies are going in the pressures. You need to
Mhm.
be very smart, you need to be a very quick learner, you need to be very flexible, you need to be an adaptive to change. You need to be someone who can transform things quickly, so that you could be able to cope with the coming challenges, with the future challenges, with the future leadership concerns that you are going to face. So, with all that, you need to have a strong and firm belief in yourself,
Mhm.
that whatever the situation will be, you will be able to handle them.
Thank you. Thank you for summarizing that for us. And I just want to acknowledge some Shamrise also. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He said great leader. I probably think that it's he's referring to you, or what we have been discussing as well. So thank you so much for engaging with us. Um, and yeah, um, that leads me to my last two questions, which is I would say are very very interesting questions, because these are very open questions that you can answer in different or many ways. So and these are always the questions I would say as the Miss Universe questions. In this case, Mr. Universe questions. So um if you have a magic wand and can use it, what will you do with it?
Okay, if I would have a magic wand, you know what I will do with it?
Mm-hmm.
I am a very firm believer of strong ethical values.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in honesty. I believe in teamwork. I believe in loyalty. I believe in sincerity. I believe in courage. I have strong belief in strong intellectual ethics, emotional and social connection. So, if I could have a magic wand, I will try to create a chip with
Mm-hmm.
all best values in it. I will put all the best values together and I will request Almighty Allah that please put this chip when you are creating new humans. So when they'll come in, they must be capable with all required value sets in them, so that they start growing further. They just not need to learn all the values from the scratch. They must have some chip by default to be built in them, so that that the world is surrounded with the peace. The world is surrounded with good people. The world is surrounded with strong people.
Wow. I really hope that you have a magic wand, right? But I mean, for sure, like with whatever you can contribute or whatever you do as a leader right now, for sure it actually helps those new, probably not new human, but new leaders within your organization, right?
Yeah,
Please excuse me
perfect.
for a moment. That to be able to have those values that you'd like to share or contribute to them, right? Because I would say that that's the work of a leader, you know helping new leaders to have the best value that we can um impart them
Yeah,
with.
you are right. You're right. Actually, you must be impactful, and if you don't have any impact in society, in community, then I think you are living a purposeless life. If you are able to create an impact on just a single human being, then you're successful. And if you are not able to create an impact for the people, then the tree which is providing shade and fruit to the community, to the people, that tree is better than you. So being human, you must be a caring human. You must have as you have a heart in you, and
Mhm.
that heart must be for the community, for the society.
Yes, very true. And that's the reason why we need, like, similar conversations to remind leaders how they have to show up, right? And, gone are the days where, you need to force people, you need to hurt people just to get what you want. There's always better ways to do so, right? We've been hearing quite a lot of unnecessary things, war, especially in Russia. Or I've actually seen an article by a friend as well on what's happening in is it Comoros, if I remember it correctly, where the government has been hurting some of the people in their community, because they don't want to celebrate, like, an occasion or something. So, this is a call for to all leaders to actually step up and it's really all about influence and like creating impact and serving others, and not really so much of imposing things that you want to see or you don't want to see, right? So I believe it's all about that. Like, I mean, that's the reason why I'm having this regular conversations, these weekly interviews that I have, so that we help more leaders to hear this kind of messages, right? And hopefully inspire at least one person at a time, right? In doing the right things or stepping up as a leader. So that leads me to my last question to you, that if you were to ask yourself a question that you can best answer, what question will that be? And since you can best answer it, please do answer it for us as well.
It is also a wonderful question that what is the best question that you can answer? So I was thinking about it that I would like to ask that learn the lessons of life that life teaches you. Think about the life, and the answer to this question about what the life is teaching you is that when you came in this world,
Mhm,
you came with nothing,
mhm,
and whenever you will leave this world, you will have nothing. So everything that you have right now in your hands, it is for this world. It is for this location that you are here in. Please use all that you have in this world, because after that you will don't have you will not have any chance to use them. So if you have whatever you have, it is for this world. Try to use it here. Try to create an impact in the lives of people. If you have knowledge, please share it. If
mhm,
you have money and spare money, please use it on the people. If you can motivate someone with your words, please do it. Please create your time for the public. Please create your time for the people, for the humans around you. Everyone have a circle around him, and that circle needs his advice. So try
mhm.
to contribute in the society through whatever you have, and you can only give whatever you have. Try to increase whatever you have, your knowledge, your skills, your capabilities, your abilities, and then apply all those abilities to the community and the people that are around you. Try to create an impact. If you have nothing while you came in the world, and then you left the world, and between that you have not created anything, that you did nothing in the world. You lived a purposeless life. Try to create that purpose, and the best purpose is to serve the humanity, serve the people. So that is my message to all. Do whatever you can do for the humanity. Do whatever you can for the people around you. Just do it.
Wow, I really love that message. Thank you so much for sharing your question. I hope I've written it correctly. What lessons can you learn from what life teaches you? And again, as you've mentioned, it's all about living our purpose, right? And being able to share what we know, what we have in this world. And as a leader, I mean, even as just human, right? As a human, our purpose of living here, our role is really to be able to serve others, right? We are all created for that purpose. So we have to, again, like what you've said, maximize or like leave that purpose that we have in life. So thank you so much for those wonderful messages, reminders that you have shared throughout this conversation. I really appreciate how motivating and inspiring that is, not only for me, I believe for our audience as well. And with that, is there any other message that you'd like to leave our audience with before we end this conversation?
My last message is that you are also creating a very strong impact, Marilyn, and you are doing a great job. This is something that inspires people. This is something that help people to transform their lives. This is again a learning platform, and it's a wonderful learning platform. I also am very inspired with the interviews that you have previously done, and I have remembered a lot of things from them. There are a lot of things that were so valuable for me that I can apply in my personal life. So I would encourage you, and I really appreciate what you are doing. Keep doing it. This is something wonderful. That is again a transformation for the new normal, and you are creating an impact in the community. This will be rewarded perfectly and wonderfully. So keep doing it. This is my last message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity and your kind comments. I really appreciate that, Ali, and of course your time sharing all these reminders, this wonderful message for our audience. And thank you so much. I really learned a lot. I'm taking notes while having this conversation. I really appreciate you as well for your contribution. Having this conversation with you is a joy as well for me and for sure with our audience. So thank you so much. And with that, I would like to leave our audience with this quote that if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. So, everyone, please continue to stay safe and invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. So, thank you so much again, Ali, and everyone, especially those who joined us live and engaged with us today. Have a good day and stay safe. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and bye for